And we are pleased to welcome back into the program Sandra Cullinan from Maybaum.
Yes.
And here's what I think is interesting. You have been a real estate agent for almost 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
How many companies have you worked for in Augusta?
Just one.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think that's a rarity, actually.
Lifelong resident here, lifelong company that I've been with. So
That's really fantastic. Just give them a shout out. Why have you been with the same company all these years?
You know, they have always supported me as a realtor, as a woman in real estate, and they've always backed me, whatever I needed, taken care of me as far as secretarial needs, because there is a lot in the background that's going on rather than just seeing me at your house. So.
Right.
I have a lot of support, and Maybaum provides that. It's wonderful.
That's really smart. If what you are great at, which I think you are, is just being a people person, being out in front and showing homes and consulting.
Absolutely.
And that you have some help behind. I would think that the customer gets the best of both worlds.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's really fantastic. And in a moment, Sandra has 7 mistakes that you can make in being involved in a real estate transaction, whether it be buying or also on the selling side. And Sandra is also a buyer's agent, and we found something online here that I would like to share with you. This is a nice review given by Debbie Lemons. For those who don't know, how many stars are the most that you can get on a review?
5.
Okay, so
5 stars.
5-star review.
That's all you can get.
I quote, I would give Sandra 10 stars if I could. First of all, that's got to make you feel good.
That does. That makes you feel real good.
Wow. Now, Debbie said after having not a great experience with 2 realtors that would not return phone calls promptly, I was referred to Sandra. Sandra is professional, courteous, patient, and knowledgeable, and looking for a home in this market is no easy feat. And what does she mean? Do you remember Debbie?
I remember Debbie. I remember most, if not all, my clients.
So you were able to show her a home, but she felt like, hey, this is a tough.
It is a tough market right now. You can put in several bids on homes and not get the house, and then have to get back out there. And a buyer's deflated after not getting a house that they were interested in. And obviously it happened to her a couple of times. And when I got her, I was like, okay, we're going to strategically do this, and we're going to get you the house that you've been wanting. We're going to get you the house of your dreams.
Wow. Did she have to make more than one offer?
We made one offer. We looked at a lot of houses. We made one offer and got it accepted.
Wow. That's fantastic.
It was fantastic.
I've heard stories where you got to bid on 5 or 10 houses. So
yeah, and she had previously done that, not with me.
Sure.
But she had previously done that. But the house that we found and bid on, she got it. And that was wonderful.
That's the Sandra magic. Can be found at soldbysandra.com. All right, we'll run through some of these 7 mistakes buying or selling a home. You say you have to be careful not to overprice the property you're trying to sell.
Yeah, because appraisal is always key. And the house has to appraise, or the buyer doesn't have to buy it. And unless they're going to fork the cash out and then put their down payment on top of that. So it's always key to make sure that the house is appropriately priced. That is number one, always.
And underbidding for your favorite home. That would make sense, particularly with it being a seller's market.
Correct. With the market being as crazy as what it is, and as many buyers that are out there trying to all get the same house as it comes on the market, you want to make sure you put your best foot forward. You want to, not miss out on your dream home for $1,000.
Right.
That's $6 a month, right now. So, do you want to miss your house because you didn't fork in that extra $1,000? There are strategies that you can use, really, that help push your bid a little bit better and help you get the house.
That's the magic sauce.
That's the magic sauce.
If you hire her, she'll tell you. Does it make sense in some cases, or do you have to give a seller more than what they're asking for?
In some cases, you may have to. I have had instances where that has happened, but not always. I mean, there are other perks that you can put out there for your buyer that may pull the seller to your side without overbidding, because you want to make sure that your buyer's not paying more than what the house is actually worth, too. So
throw in a love seat and an ottoman, right?
Maybe a home warranty.
Okay.
Lots of different things that you can do.
So creative
thinking in a contract is always a good thing.
Okay. You say never waive a home inspection.
No, absolutely not. I wouldn't buy a house without a home inspection, and I certainly wouldn't want my buyers to do so.
Does that occur in the market these days?
It has, yeah.
Really?
It really has. People have been submitting no due diligence days, but if you're going to submit a no due diligence day, then you need to absolutely put in there that you have the right to have the house inspected and request any necessary repairs, because that's important, especially when you're buying a property. You don't want to buy somebody else's
problems.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
I see.
And I even recommend that you get a home inspection before putting the house on the market in some cases to make sure that everything's up to par.
From the seller side.
From the seller side.
And just kind of
lay your cards on the
Yeah.
table. This, if you want to sell it as is, that's fine. Let's find out what the as is.
Okay. I follow what you're saying there. And we're continuing our chat with Sandra Cullinan from Maybaum Real Estate, and she has been a real estate agent with Maybaum, which is #1 company in the CSRA, for almost 25 years. And online, it's soldbysandra.com. And some people just don't understand the contract. And what are some typical things that are maybe a little confusing for folks?
Well, due diligence is probably the most confusing thing for buyers. They don't quite understand. And if they haven't bought a house with due diligence or been through a sale. But that's the days you have that the buyer has to back out of a contract after, and it's supposed to be used for inspection. A lot of times it's not. So in this market, that's why I always say, make sure you put in there, if you put 0 due diligence days, that you have some kind of backup so that you can have that house inspected. But not understanding the contract, to me, is a big, fault of the realtor. Gotcha. You should always inform every buyer of what they're signing. They need to know. They need to be aware of everything that they're agreeing to in that contract, because it is a legally binding agreement and will stand up in any court of law. So very important.
Okay.
So
another good reason to have an experienced real estate agent for sure. The fifth mistake in buying or selling a home, not amending the seller's disclosure. What does that mean?
Well, nowadays you see a lot of homes that come back on the market. So they went under contract, now they're back on the market, and it could have fell apart for repair issues. So you want to make sure that if you're a seller and you have your house on the market and you get a contract and then they have it inspected and they come up with something that you weren't aware of, and you fix it, you want to make sure that you amend that contract to be up to date, up to the day that it goes under contract. So if it comes back out, you amend it for whatever reason. If there was a reason, it may just be that the buyer changed their mind. And under due diligence, a buyer can do that. So,
boy, I bet this one gets your goat. Number 6, not being fully transparent with your real estate agent. Give no names, of course, but just give an example of something that maybe has occurred over the years in which you were kind of blindsided when you were selling a home.
Oh, yes, absolutely. A buyer not disclosing that 2 days ago they went out and bought a brand new car. and they could no longer qualify for the house that they were buying.
Oh.
So you need to be fully transparent regardless of any situation with your realtor. They're there to protect you and help you and guide you through the home buying or selling process. So absolutely, you absolutely should be fully transparent.
Oh, wow. And does it ever happen on the seller side about, maybe there was a little bit of water leak down in the basement or something?
Absolutely.
Does that ever?
Seen that before too. I think I say I've seen it all, but then something will happen tomorrow.
Wait a minute. She just had her 39th birthday. How could you have seen it all? I don't know.
But yes, it happens on both sides. That
Okay.
You absolutely should tell your realtor whatever the case may be. In that disclosure, it asks some pretty pertinent questions that you need to be forthcoming with. And if you don't know, ask your realtor, because we do know what you should and shouldn't disclose.
Sure. And you also say, lastly, number 7, a common mistake is not choosing the best real estate agent to represent you. I'm guessing, like in any business, some have some strengths and some do not.
Correct.
And what's a good criteria in choosing a real estate agent, do you think?
Well, I think the knowledge of the market, number one. If you're a buyer, then you want to make sure that your realtor knows those loan programs that are available for you, for what your circumstances are, because every buyer's different, every sale is different. That's what is such a passion for me in this business. Every day is different, and every situation is different, and it's a joy to deal with.
Yeah.
So,
what's it like when someone has purchased a home, a buyer through you, or you've sold for someone, and you get to the closing table or the keys get delivered? What's that like?
It's an awesome feeling that you have made somebody's dream come true. And right now it's a struggle to get there with buyers, because you are out there, it's feast or frenzy, with them. And when you get to hand them those keys, it is just a remarkable feeling that you've accomplished this, and hope that they're as happy with you for what you've provided them. So, and I can say I have some of the world's best buyers and sellers that I've worked with over the 25 years that I've been doing this. It's been awesome.
And there's been thousands, but she remembers you all.
Absolutely.
And if you join the team, she'll remember you too.
Absolutely.
Get started by going to soldbysandra.com. Lots of good tidbits like what we talked about on the website. Good information, good reviews for you to sort of see how other experiences have been. I think that's so important.
They all go on there. They all go on there.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure. Soldbysandra.com.